¿Qué libro era? Libro es un- Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the webinar organized by the Spanish Chamber of Commerce in Qatar and Bravent. My name is Josefa Sandoval, Secretary General of the Chamber, and it is a pleasure to be here with you today. The name of this webinar is Microsoft Copilot Talk, the new era of Copilot. We will look at the news update in Microsoft 365 Copilot, an important technology that is changing how we work. Our speaker today is Mario Lopez, CEO of Bravent. We thank him for being with us. This webinar will last for 1 hour. Any question you have will be answered at the end of the presentation. My colleague, Cristina Mejia, will moderate the Q&A session. Please note that this webinar is being recorded. Now, I will hand it over to Mr. Mario Lopez. Mario, when you are ready, you can start.
Perfect.
Thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Josefa. Thank you for the intro. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. So I will start sharing my screen. While I'm presenting, I will stop my camera because sometimes I have some problems with Teams, and later I will enable again. Okay. So I will start with the presentation mode. Okay. Perfect. So, as Josefa was saying, today we will be talking about Copilot. The idea of this session is to explain a little bit about how it's affecting to the different industries and mainly how we can use Copilot in our company or maybe in our personal use. There's a completely new tool that is changing everything thanks to the AI, thanks to the new technologies that are appearing. And at the end, also, as Josefa was saying, we will have some time for answers, some questions. So feel free to ask any question or whatever you want to need. You have the chat window, or if you prefer, you can unmute and you can start asking some questions. So as Josefa was saying, my name is Mario Lopez. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer at Bravent. I have probably the best job in the company because I have the opportunity to work in many different customers using the latest technologies, creating different POCs. So I'm very happy and very proud to be part of this. So talking about Bravent, about our company, for those who doesn't know our company, we are a software development company, very focused on innovation. We are very specialized on artificial intelligence, extended realities, business apps, and cloud computing. What we do is that we combine all of these technologies to build custom solutions for our customers. We apply all the knowledge that we have, and we put everything together to create the best possible solutions for our customers. And right now we have operations in 6 different countries. We have offices in Qatar, where we are working right now with some of the most important customers in the country, working with the latest technologies, mainly with AI. We are working a lot with Copilot, with some of the functionalities that I will show you today. So let's go to the main topic. So first of all, I would like to start with an intro about the new era of the Copilot, the new era of the AI, and how is this affecting to our world and also the industry. So first of all, I would like to explain why and how it's affecting this to our life. In my humble opinion, I think that we are living a completely new revolution that's impacting everywhere. We are seeing a new era with artificial intelligence. First of all, I want to say that this is not new. That's something that it came from many years ago, from the 50s, more or less. With the I think the 50 years more or less, or 70 years from we started with artificial intelligence until now, we were discovering many different things. We were evolving the artificial intelligence until now, where we have some software and some technology that is completely different. The main difference, in my opinion, is that in the past we didn't have enough power and enough performance to do the kind of things that we are doing right now. Right now we have supercomputers, we have super technology that we can apply, and that's why it's changing our world. Right now, in my opinion, I think that the best advantages and the main difference is that everyone can access to the AI. And I will show you today in this webinar how easy it is to access to Copilot and how easy it is to use the technology and this tool. I always say that, for example, if you ask me maybe 5-10 years ago, I wasn't able to think that my parents, or my father in this case, now will be using or is using artificial intelligence, because a few years ago it was completely different. It was very difficult. It was very complicated to access to artificial intelligence, and to start using artificial intelligence we needed data scientists, a lot of experts in artificial intelligence, but right now, no. Right now, we can go directly to ChatGPT, or we can go to the many different services that we have available, and we can access to artificial intelligence. So that's the main change. That's something that is affecting to our world, and that's something that is changing completely. This is a chart that I love. I love to show, because I think that it reflects how big is being the impact of ChatGPT and the generative AI. As you can see here, we have the time to reach 100 million users. It's 100 million users. If we compare with other technologies that appear in the past, like mobile phones, for example, mobile phones, it was a completely revolution. But if we compare, we are in this case the mobile phones reached 100 million users in 16 years. Internet, that's another revolution. It was 7 years. Facebook 4 or 5 years. But now, ChatGPT in only 3 months achieved 100 million users. Imagine the change and the revolution that we are living. That's completely different. That's huge. We are seeing again a new revolution, because we are seeing that a lot of people are accessing to artificial intelligence, and we are starting to use in very simple tasks artificial intelligence. That's why we need to learn. We need to learn how to use artificial intelligence. We learn how to use the different tools that we have available, and we need to start using these kind of technologies in our companies. That's very, very important. So this is a research that was done during the past year. At the bottom of the page, you have the source. But what we are seeing is that around 74% of our employees, they say that they don't have enough time, or they don't have energy to do their job. What is happening is that, and that's something that it was happening in our company, and also completely in my case, we have every day hundreds or thousands of emails, chats, documents, many different things that we need to check, we need to review, we need to answer. So at the end of the day, we are taking a lot of time to just answer those things. That's a lot of time that we are spending in digital tasks that maybe we need to apply to something completely different, that maybe is more important for our business, but we cannot see it, because we are most of our time just doing this kind of task. We see that around 57% of the employees' time is spent communicating. That's something that completely changed after the pandemic or during the pandemic, because everyone was starting to use online platforms to communicate with our employees. So it's a lot of time that we are applying just to communicate. So at the end of the day, we only have or we can see that only 43% of our employees' time is spent creating. That is probably one of the most important tasks in our company. We need to create, we need to think about what we'll do in our future. What are the most important things in our company, in our business? That's the key in our business. So if we have only few minutes or few hours per day to think about this, probably the results in the future will not be very good. So that's something that applying and using AI, we can change it. That's the way of the, that's the main idea of this webinar, to see how we can use Copilot to help us in our daily task, and how we can access to this new artificial intelligence. So we need to prepare our company, and also we need to prepare ourselves for the use of AI. So when we think in our company that we need to start using artificial intelligence, or we want to start using some services or creating new solutions or whatever, we need to think about these 5 different questions. The first one is what are our goals? Okay, using AI could be very good, but we need to have very clear why and the main goal of using AI. We are seeing a lot of customers that are asking us, okay, I want to use AI. I don't know the main goal, but I want to use AI because it's cool. It's now the new trending topic. Okay, that's fine. But first of all, you need to know what is your goal, why you are applying AI. So that's very important. The second one is that we need to check the pain points. That's, again, very important. We need to check why could be important for our company, and how using artificial intelligence we can solve these pain points, or maybe improve it. Maybe we cannot solve everything, but we can improve it. So that's also important. We need to check the current capabilities that we have in terms of our employees, in terms of the processes, everything that we have in our company. We need to check our current capabilities. It's not the same if we are a huge company with hundreds or thousands of different employees and they are very technical, or if we are completely the opposite. We are a small company and the knowledge that our employees they have is not very technical. So we need to check that first of all. The fourth one is the data strategy. When we are always talking about artificial intelligence, the most important thing is the data. If we don't have a data strategy, or we don't have the data very well structured, secure, etc., we will have a problem. Or probably the AI is not the thing, or it's not the right way to solve our problems. First of all, we need to start with a data strategy. And lastly, we need to check the infrastructure and the resources that we have in our company. We need to check if our organization is right now ready to support those AI initiatives. That's also something very important that we need to check. It's not the same if we are using on-premise services, or if we are in the cloud, or we are not using technology, we don't know anything. That's something that we need to check. So those 5 questions are very important. If we want to start using AI, it's very important that we check all of this. If we answer all of these questions and we start using artificial intelligence, at the end, what we can do is that we can focus on what matters most in our company. That's the most important thing. We need to have, as I was saying at the beginning, we need to have more time creating, thinking about our customers, running our business, growing our customers. That's the most important thing. We need to focus on that. We cannot stay the whole time just doing repetitive tasks, answering emails, attending to meetings. That's another huge problem, that we take a lot of time just having conversations in Teams, Zoom, or whatever. So if we start using these kind of technologies and tools, we can focus on what is important for us. So now let's go to the main topic, that is talk a little bit about Microsoft 365 Copilot and other technologies and other functionalities that we have right now available in the market that we can start using in our company. So when we start using AI, first of all, or maybe the main use case is to use an AI assistant. That's something that is probably very easy because it's the way that we can communicate with other people. So when we start to use artificial intelligence, our main idea is to start doing in the same way. We ask to the AI what we need or what we want to know or whatever. So if we want to start using AI assistants, we have these three different options. We have more, but we will focus today in those three because, again, this webinar is about Copilot 365, but we have more tools or more solutions available in the market. The first one that we have here in this slide is ChatGPT. ChatGPT probably is the most famous one. It's available for everyone. We can just access through the website, or we can install the application in our mobile phone, and we can start using ChatGPT. And that's fantastic. That's awesome. It's very powerful, and it's very good. But in my humble opinion, we have one main problem. We can say that it's private. And we can say that it's private when we are paying the paid version, and it's more or less private. And I will explain why. The thing is that if we are using ChatGPT through OpenAI directly in the website or through the mobile app or whatever, we don't own the model that we are using in ChatGPT. So the information that we are sending to ChatGPT, okay, is private, but when we are accepting the conditions, they can use the data that you are sending to ChatGPT. That's very important. If we want to use ChatGPT in our company and we are managing confidential information, we don't recommend to use the public ChatGPT. You can do it if you want, but you need to know that probably this information could be shared with other people or could be used to retrain and improve the ChatGPT models. That's very, very important. If we want to use ChatGPT in our company, in a private version, we can use Microsoft 365 Copilot. Microsoft 365 Copilot is ChatGPT plus many other functionalities that I will explain. But the main difference is that it's private, it's only for you, it's a black box that you have only for you. You are the owner, you manage the content, you manage the security, you manage everything. Okay, that's the most important thing. You can use also your knowledge from your company, and it could be integrated directly in Microsoft 365. When I say Microsoft 365, I mean PowerPoint, Word, Outlook, and the rest of the tools that we have available in the Microsoft 365. Besides that, we can create our custom assistant or our custom copilots or whatever we want to call it. But we need to know, or we know that we can create our custom assistants. It could be private because we can use our own resources, our own models. We can train this assistant with the knowledge of our company, with the knowledge from an expert. It could be integrated in any system. Probably it's the best option to create a custom assistant for your company. It's true that you can do it also in Microsoft 365 Copilot, but probably if you want to customize even more, you can create something completely new and completely from scratch for you. That's another kind of Copilots that we are building, but in this webinar, we will focus in Microsoft 365 Copilot. So going deeper in Copilot 365 for Microsoft, Copilot for Microsoft 365. As you can see here in this picture, the main difference is that we have something that we call semantic index. Semantic index is a functionality that we have in Copilot that is able to index all the information that we have in our company. It's able to index the devices, the files, the events, the chats, the groups, security, everything that we have in our company will be indexed automatically by the semantic index. So we will have the possibility to access all of this information through Copilot, through Copilot 365. That's important because also it will affect to our security. That's the first thing that we tell to our customers. When you want to start using Copilot 365, the first thing that you need to check is the security, the data privacy, all of these things, because Copilot 365 will index all the information. So if we have information that is not available for everyone in the company or is confidential or whatever, we need to check that before doing anything with Copilot 365. That's something very important. The security is very important in Copilot 365. So first of all, we need to check that. We need to prepare our organization. We need to prepare our data. And after that, we can start using Copilot 365 and we can index all information. If, for example, if we have a file that is confidential, we can put like a flag or whatever saying that this is confidential. And when we are using Copilot 365, only the people that has access to this file will be able to access to the information through Copilot 365. That's very important. You need to know that because it's important when we are starting using Copilot. And when we are talking about Microsoft 365 Copilot, we need to know also that we have many different Copilots. I know that is sometimes complicated. Microsoft, in my humble opinion, I think that they love to complicate when they are using new names for products and these kind of things, or maybe they want to change the names of the product. But we have something that they call Microsoft 365 Copilot, and we have inside that many different Copilots that you can see here. So when we are talking about Microsoft 365 Copilot, we see that the main way that we can interact with this Copilot is using natural language. That's very important because in the same way that we use ChatGPT, we can communicate with Copilot. We can use our own natural language. It could be typed using our keyboard, or we can use our own voice or whatever we prefer. Inside Copilot, we have large language models. That's probably very technical, but you need only to know that we are, or Microsoft in this case, is using GPT. They are starting to use other models, but mainly they are using GPT. So in the same way that ChatGPT, they are using GPT 4 or 4.0 or whatever. In this case, Microsoft in Copilot, they are using GPT in the same way. We have also Microsoft Graph, and this is all the data that we have in our company. That's the information that I was explaining in the slide before about the devices, the files, and all the knowledge that we have in our company is stored in Microsoft Graph. That's the software, or that's the tool that Microsoft uses. And the Copilot could be used, as I was explaining, in all the Microsoft 365 apps. When we are talking about the Microsoft 365 apps, are the applications that we have here at the bottom. It's Microsoft Word, Outlook, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, etc. I will show you some videos just to show you how we can interact with Copilot. And beside all of that, what we can have is also the knowledge from internet. In the same way that ChatGPT has indexed all the information that is available in internet until 2023, depending on which model we are using, Copilot from Microsoft is doing exactly the same. They are indexing the information from internet, and it could be used in Copilot. If we don't want to use it, we can avoid the use of internet. I know customers, and we have customers that they say, I don't want to use the information that I have on internet because could be wrong, or it could, I don't know, come from a source that I don't want to use, whatever. That's something that if we want, we can remove it or we can stop it. That's something that we have in as a functionality, but if we don't want to use it, we can stop it. Also, we have other copilots. I will see you in the next slides the other copilots in more detail, but you need to know that also we have Copilot in Windows, we have Copilot for business, in Fabric or Power BI, security. There are appearing many different Copilots. Again, as I was saying, Microsoft loves to generate confusion with the products and also with the names. But we will have more and more Copilots. So this is a slide that I like because depending on if we are an individual or we are an organization, we can acquire Copilot, and you need to know that the Copilot itself could be free. Obviously, we have only some functionalities that are more or less the same that we can have in ChatGPT. This is not private. This is important. I will enable the laser. Give me one sec. Okay, so you need to know that if we are using the Copilot free, we have the basic functionalities, we have the web indexing, and we have the commercial data protection. But that's all. We don't have the rest of the functionalities. If we want to use the Copilot Pro, and this is the Copilot that is included to use in the rest of the Microsoft 365 applications, we need to acquire this one, the Copilot Pro. In the same way, if we are an organization or if we are a company, we have the free version that is included in Microsoft 365 licenses, or we can acquire, it's more or less $30 per month, we can acquire the Copilot for Microsoft 365, and we will have all of these capabilities. I will show you some videos about the functionalities that we have. For me, and that's my personal opinion, the most important one is Copilot in Teams. That's something that is saving a lot of time, at least in my case. It's very easy to use, and I'm sure that we can use it every day. The rest of the functionalities are very good, but I think that, in my opinion, that's my favorite one. And again, I will show you a video about this. As I was saying, we have other Copilots. Here, as we can see, we have the Copilot free, we have the Copilot for Microsoft 365, but also we have Copilot for Sales that could be used in Dynamics 365 in the CRM from Microsoft, or, for example, we have the Copilot for Service. That's a separate license that we can acquire, and we can start using in the software. In this case, if we are talking about sales, we will use it in Dynamics 365 CRM. So depending on what are our needs, we can decide or we can choose the Copilot that we need in our company. But here, I want to repeat again, because I think that is important. If we want to start using Copilot in our company, if we already have Microsoft 365 licenses, we have the Copilot free version included, and we have the data protections. It means that we have a private version of ChatGPT for our company, and that's free. That's very important. You can access directly, typing in the browser copilot.microsoft.com. That's very important, because if you want to start using ChatGPT in your company in a private version or private mode, you can start using for free if you have Microsoft 365 in your company. If you want to use the rest of the functionalities that I will show you today, you need to acquire this one, the Copilot for Microsoft 365. So I will show you now the functionalities. That is probably the most important thing. And all of these functionalities that I will show you now are included in the Copilot for Microsoft 365. So is needed a license. That's what it means. But that's probably the most important thing. First of all, I will talk a little bit about Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio is a tool that we have included. That is a tool that we can use to start creating our own assistants, our own copilots that we can use to index, for example, information from our company. Imagine that you have, for example, the manuals of how to repair a machine. We can use Copilot Studio to create our own assistant. We will index the information that we have in the documents, and we will be able to publish this assistant to our employees or to our customers, for example, whatever you prefer. So that's a very powerful tool because we don't need any complex knowledge. It's something very easy to use that we can access, and directly we can start creating our copilots. Now I'm showing you how it works, Copilot in Outlook. That's something that I love because as you can see here in the video, if we have a meeting and we have a conflict, for example, because we are attending another meeting, we have the button that I showed in the video that it says follow. So if we click on follow, as you are seeing here, the people that are attending to the meeting will receive an advice that the meeting will be recorded, and automatically when the meeting is finished, I will receive this summary, this recap that you are seeing here. And I will be able to use Copilot. That means that I can ask any question about what was happening at the meeting. For example, here I'm asking what are my action items. So I can receive directly, okay, they were talking about blah, 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 and the action items for you are those 3, 4, whatever. So we have, or we will receive the recap. So if we are not attending, we can check everything that was happening. We have the meeting notes, we have the highlights, we have the mentions, we have the files that they have used. We have everything. That's something that, again, is my favorite functionality because I'm saving a lot of time, and when I have some conflicts in my agenda, I can attend my priority meeting, but I can follow what is happening in the rest, and I can receive the recap or whatever is needed. So that's fantastic, and that's the same functionality of how appear in Teams. In Teams, well, this is in Outlook. When we click on follow, and now we go to Teams, it doesn't matter if the meeting was started or is finished or whatever. We can go to the meeting, and in real time we will be able to ask questions and use Copilot. So again, as I was saying, if the meeting was started, imagine that they started and they are running for 10 minutes or whatever. So when we just join to the call, we can ask to Copilot, tell me what was happening before, tell me what they were talking about. And in just a few seconds, I will receive the information and I can continue the conversation. So that's something that, again, is very, very useful because we can receive all the information about what was happening in the meeting. This is a screenshot of how it looks in Teams. This is what they call intelligent recap. That's something that we will receive automatically when we record any session. Imagine that you are attending, but you record the session. After the meeting, you will receive this notification with this information. So we will receive the recording, obviously, of the session. We will receive the speakers that were participating. We will receive the main topics, the notes. We will receive everything. Now, for example, we don't need to take any note. Automatically, if we record the session, we will receive the transcript, we will receive the notes, and we will receive the tasks that are needed to complete. So again, imagine the time that we are saving here just using this functionality. That's, again, in my opinion, my favorite one. Okay, now this is Word in Copilot. So if we are using Microsoft Word, and here we have a test. Could be a file that we have in our company or something that we have downloaded from internet. What we can do is that we can automatically ask to Copilot to, for example, receive a summary. We can do a translation. We can change the text. For example, here in the video, as you were seeing, we can create a table, or we can ask any question about what we have inside the document. For example, we are working with customers that they receive RFPs or they receive legal documents with a lot of pages, contracts, and those kind of things. Okay, we need to review all the document, but what happens if we ask to Copilot, give me a summary, tell me what are the important points that I need to take care, or tell me who are the people that I need to ask in my company to prepare that, or whatever. Imagine the time that we can save with just this functionality. If we go to Copilot in Word and with just asking a few questions, we can do it. Or completely the opposite. Imagine if we need to create a document. If we have some points, some ideas, and we need to create a document or a legal contract or whatever. Obviously, someone will need to review the document. But if we use AI to create more or less the whole document and the most important things, we are saving a lot of time with just using this tool. Okay, now I'm showing Excel. Excel is a very, very, very powerful tool. It's a tool where we can use numbers, where we can have this information. And again, we can use Copilot, for example, to analyze what was happening here. What are the key trends? And just putting the numbers on a table and just asking a few questions, we can receive the information. Or if we need to prepare a chart, for example, as you are seeing here, that's something that automatically we can ask to Copilot. Help me visualize this content, or create a, I don't know, a bar chart, create whatever is needed, and automatically in few seconds we'll do it. And probably the most important thing is that also we can explain why is happening that. It's analyzing the numbers that we have in the table, and we are receiving some insights that maybe are important for our business, as you are seeing here. So this is, again, another very powerful functionality that we can use in Microsoft Excel. Now talking about PowerPoint, very simple, very similar. If we need to start creating a presentation, and for example, we started with a Word document, we can tell to Copilot, okay, create a presentation based on this document. In the document, we have maybe some pages where we are describing a new product, when we are describing, I don't know, the roadmap of the company, whatever we have. And as you are seeing here, in just a few seconds, we will receive some slides, very good slides with a good design, with animations, with whatever we need, automatically using Copilot. And completely the opposite. As I was saying, if we have a presentation and we want to ask questions, that's also something that we can ask to Copilot. For example, I remember a few months ago, I was doing a training, and I wanted to prepare some questions about the presentation that I was showing. So I just used Copilot and asked it, okay, tell me some questions about the content that I have in the presentation. And automatically I received the questionnaire, and I used the questionnaire with the students. So in just a few seconds, again, we are receiving the answers and the information that we want. Finally, this is another fantastic, I think, well, it's an amazing functionality when we are using Power BI. Power BI is the tool that we can use to create dashboards or reports of the data that we have in our company, for example. And what we can do with Copilot in Power BI is, as you are seeing here in the video, is that we can ask to create a report. For example, here is asking about creating a report summarizing the profile of customers who visited our resort properties in the last 12 months. So as you are seeing here, in just few seconds, we are getting a completely dashboard with all the analysis, with the filters, with the right information that we need to take decisions, to take some actions, to see what will happen in the future of the company, for example. So that's something that automatically we can do it using Copilot in Power BI. Here again, and that's something that I explained before, the most important thing is the data. The data is the most important thing. If we have the data ready, we can start using, for example, Copilot here in Power BI, and again, in few seconds having reports with very high quality, probably saving a lot of time if you need to do it from scratch. And now, finally, I want to explain some of the news that appeared just yesterday. Yesterday, Microsoft has announced some news about Microsoft 365. So today, in the morning, I was including these functionalities because I think that could be interesting for you. And for example, there is one functionality that I love, and I will show you the video. This is the second wave that Microsoft is announcing because they have big changes, they have big announcements, and new functionalities that are appearing in Copilot 365. The first one that you are seeing here is a new product that is called Copilot Pages. Copilot Pages is a new product that we can use in the same way that we are using Copilot 365, that we ask, for example, I don't know, tell me about I don't know, a product that I have internally in my company. I will receive the information, but if I want to prepare a new document using that information, we can use Copilot Pages. And in Copilot Pages, automatically we can put the content and we can start collaborating with our colleagues. It's something very similar to Loop. If you have used Loop or maybe OneNote, it's more or less the same, but using Copilot. Because using Copilot, we can ask about any information and we can change it, we can rewrite, we can put a table, we can ask about anything that we want. That's a new product that was announced. Also, we have new functionalities in Copilot 365 for the Microsoft apps. For example, in Excel, we have some new functionalities that now we can use Python code. We have many functionalities that are right now included. Also, Copilot in Microsoft Excel now is in general availability because before it was a preview. You were able to use it, but it was preview. But now is in general availability. And finally, they launched something that they call Copilot Agent, and that's something that is really, really impressive. I will show you the video because I think that is a very good functionality. This is the new product that they call Copilot Agent in Microsoft SharePoint. So imagine that we have a site, as you can see here, where we have some folders, we have some files, could be Word, Excel, PDF, whatever. We can select the files and the folders, and automatically we can create our own agent. What it means is that we will have automatically our own agent that could be used in Copilot 365 and Teams, for example, or it could be integrated in a website, could be integrated in whatever we need, and we will have our own agent. As you can see here, what the agent was doing is that it was indexing all the information that we have in that directory, and automatically we are able to ask about any questions. For example, imagine scenarios where we have documents about how to repair a machine, again, how to do the troubleshooting. So if we have all the information in a directory, or we can place it in a directory, automatically we can create our agent, we can publish the agent in Teams or in the channel that we prefer to use, and automatically we will receive, we will have the possibility to use the agent for our employees or for whatever we need. So in just a few seconds, we can create those agents, and I think that that's a fantastic, very powerful new functionality that we will have available. I was reading that it will be available at the end of this month, at the end of September. So very soon we will have it available. So that was all from my side. Here you have a QR code that you can scan it. If you can, we will be very thankful. It's a very small questionnaire with just 3-4 questions to answer. It will help us to improve, to get more insights about you and about your companies. Also, you will receive this link through the email. So if you cannot capture the QR code, don't worry, we will send you. But if you can right now, we will be very happy to receive it. So now it's time to questions. If you want to put it on the chat, or if you want to unmute and ask directly the questions, feel free. Or Cristina, I don't know if we have some questions from the audience.
At the moment, we don't have it, but as you said, they can raise their hand. They can also write in the chat. Just wait. We can wait a couple minutes that the people wants to start with the questions. We encourage you if you want to do it, because I think so it's an important topic. Okay, now I'll have one question. I will give the word to Eduardo. Eduardo, you can open your microphone, please.
Thank you very much, Cristina, and thank you very much for the presentation. A very interesting one. I have lots of questions, but one, Mario, one that I would like to do is in these countries in the Middle East. Well, there is some sensitivity regarding the data management, or regarding, for example, the meeting recordings, or some of the features that you have sent on Copilot, or you have shown today on Copilot, are related to the authorization to be able to treat or manage the data. So as you guys are already operating in Qatar, what's your what has been your feeling with I don't know if you guys have worked with public authorities, yes, and if yes, this is presenting any type of challenge for this purpose.
Well, first of all, thank you, Eduardo, for your feedback, and thank you for the question. That's a really good question, to be honest, because as you said, data privacy and data ownership in the Middle East is very important. It's something that they take care about a lot. So that's very important. That's something that happened to us. The short answer is that yes, that is already solved, because as you know, Microsoft right now has data centers in Qatar in this case, but also in other regions in the Middle East, or in other countries in the Middle East. And for example, in more complex scenarios where we need to use directly OpenAI, for example, in Azure, and we are directly creating our own models, our own Copilot using OpenAI models in Azure, we have a specific authorization from the government to use the data centers from Sweden, central Sweden, because that's the only way to start using OpenAI in the Middle East. Our main customers are in the public sector, so that's something that we know very well in Qatar. So we don't see any problem using the functionalities that I have shown today about Copilot 365, or even, as I said, in more complex scenarios using directly models from Azure OpenAI. We have the permissions, we have the approvals, and the other important thing is about the security. As I was explaining, using Copilot 365, you or in this case Microsoft is ensuring that you are the owner of the data. You will have the same security that you have in your company, and this is a completely black and closed box that you are the only person or the only entity that has access to the information, and that's very important. That's why we always recommend to use Copilot from Microsoft and not using, in this case, ChatGPT. I don't know if that answered your question.
Yes,
Eduardo.
it does. It does. I think that there is something interesting here. Of course, your core business is to somehow be with on the client side in order to or even customize or provide the challenges for private entities or entities that whenever we work with the authorities, we are considered outside of the security bubble. No, it's so the agreement, you can have the agreement with the authority, but for us,
Exactly.
that part is still something hard to sort.
Yeah.
And another question, and it's just curiosity: did you create your presentation with the AI or
More or less.
AI?
more or less, yes. To be honest, there are a few things that we create with AI. Obviously, the videos are from Microsoft and some of them from us. But yes, to be honest, we use a lot Copilot 365 in our company. Most of our employees are currently using Copilot 365, and yes, we use a lot. And as I said, I love the functionality that we have in Teams. It's really amazing.
Thank you very much, Mario. Thanks.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Eduardo, for the question. Actually, I was so curious about the presentation too, well, because it's amazing. Okay, I don't know if someone have another questions, because in the chat we don't have anything at the moment. And
Okay.
let's wait. Oh, okay, we have one more question for Eduardo.
If nobody else is going to ask,
Go ahead.
Okay, so there are let's say some inevitable comparison with ChatGPT. ChatGPT tends to be, let's say, not smart at the first command. So there is a long process with prompts. There is a long process in order to, let's say, develop an answer that is truly a good answer or a good response or good development of the process. No, it's a chat. What compared to ChatGPT, Copilot, let's say, does it suffer from the same? So is it something that there needs to be a training on prompting adequately for
well,
the interaction with the
well, that's to be honest, a complex answer, because it depends on the use case. You have some prompts that are already available in the same way that in ChatGPT you have the GPTs, that you have the different GPTs with some prompts that are already available to use. In the same way, in Copilot 365, you have some prompts that are ready to use in your company that are probably the most useful, the prompts that you must use, and also the prompts that we're creating from your colleagues. And that's something that also you have available. But obviously, if you need to do more complex tasks, you need to prepare your prompts. And again, depending on the use case, it could be more complex, but it's at the end is more or less very similar to ChatGPT. What we are seeing is that when you have more complex scenarios, you can create, as I was explaining, your own agent or your own Copilot that could be integrated directly in Copilot 365, and you can give your own context, your own prompting, your own information, and that's something that obviously will require more time because you need to customize it, but will be more powerful and at the end more helpful with the answers that you receive. But it works very similar, to be honest, Eduardo.
And regulation, do you know if there is going to be any regulation? I mean, right now, nobody knows how it's going to be.
For what I know is that Copilot from Microsoft is right now, I think, the only software that it has all the regulations to be used in most of the countries around the world. For example, probably in Middle East and in Europe, are the two regions that are more complicated with the GDPR, or in the Middle East with the data ownership and those things. And that's the only software that, at least I know, maybe there are others in the market, but for what I know right now, is the only one that is compliance with the regulations that we have in those regions.
Thank you very much, Mario, and thanks, Cristina.
No,
Thanks.
no problem.
You're welcome. Okay, we didn't receive any more questions. Now I will give the word to my colleague Josefa Sandoval, and she will close the webinar.
Thank you, Mario, for your great presentation and for sharing your knowledge with us. We also thank all the participants for joining us. Wishing you all excellent afternoon, and we look forward to see you at future webinars and events organized by the Chamber. Thank you, and see you next time.
Thank you so much. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mario.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you so much.